Again, we'll give you that grid set angle look here. And that front stretch. Gave a new front stretch view here. Let's see if we like it, don't like it. Again, it gives us something a little bit different this go round. Yeah, we're gonna go grab some videos of everybody going around the track so we can make us some highlight videos. So enjoy it, guys, and we'll be back with you here in a little bit.
Cart number 4 out of Greenville, Iowa. And the cart number 8, 85R, that's Renley Goff out of Crook, South Dakota. And Riker Stevens coming to you just a few miles down the road from St. Charles, Missouri, in the cart number 8. Riker Stevens in the blue number 8. And that will conclude, once these cats are done with their hot lap session, that will conclude your hot laps for your restricted box stock pro. And up next will be Junior 1 Light Pro. Junior 1 Light Pro will be on track next for their hot lap session. And once again, as Terry said in the driver's meeting, as Terry mentioned in the driver's meeting, that there will be one round of hot laps only for each and every one of our classes. So if you want to get the bugs worked out, well, you better come on out and get her done right now. So up next, like I said, will be Junior 1 Light Pro. And from no particular order, this is who is going to be coming out. Just going from the top of the list all the way down, it's going to be the 32 out of Stanhope, Iowa, Hayden Arnold. The 15 will be Colton Brown out of Lee Summit, Missouri. The number 2 will be Cam Crawford out of Piperton, Tennessee. Yes, you heard me correctly, race fans. All the way from way down south in Piperton, Tennessee. And up next, the number 3 coming to you all the way from way up north. That's Fairmont, Minnesota driver Kaylor Ekstrom. Definitely no stranger to Emma Indoor Raceway come the Winter Classic. And definitely not a stranger, the number 9 out of Mitchellville, Iowa. That's Gannon Heimball just entering the track. And the 15K, you'll just have to pick out your favorite driver when they come out. Kane Hooper out of Urbana, Missouri. That's just a few miles down Highway 65. And the 05 coming to you out of Des Moines, Iowa. That's Clyde Keenan in the 05. And the 41 will be Bryn Miller out of Cross Timbers, Missouri. And the 18 will be Jace O'Neill out of Kansas City, Kansas. And on track, I believe he's on track now, the number 42, coming to you from New London, Wisconsin. Yes, you heard me correctly. New London, Wisconsin. That's Easton Quaintance. Easton Quaintance in the 42. And the number 5 coming to you out of Truro, Iowa, will be Jackson Reeves in the cart number 5. And the fastest cat so far in your Junior 1 Light Pro, that will be the cart number 9 of Gannon Heimball, bringing in a 10.310. A 10.310, and that was his last lap was his fastest lap with a 10.310. Kaylor Ekstrom, Jackson Reeves, the 8X of Corbin Tarbus. I did not have All right, this will be your second group for your Junior 1 Light Pro. The 15K, that's Kane Hooper. Kane Hooper in the 15K, just going down the back straightaway. And the blue number 15, that will be Colton Brown out of Lee Summit, Missouri. The number 18, Jace O'Neal. Jace O'Neal in the cart number 18. The 5S coming down the front straightaway right here, that's Chase Ute in the 5S. And the 41 out of Cross Timbers, that's Bryn Miller. The 8X of Corbin Tarvis out of Chautauqua, Wisconsin. The number 2, where did the number 2 go? Cam Crawford in the cart number 2. Up next will be your Clone Light 340. Clone Light 340. Not everybody elects to come out for their hot lap session. So it's going to be the purple and white number 4. That will be Jaden Davis. The 28. That will be Tanner Lowry, I do believe. The 21, Caden Brockert. The 43 of Paul Rainey. The 14, A.J. Roberts. The 28T, Tanner Lowry. The 30 of Tyler Alton. Tyler Alton out of New Richmond, Wisconsin. Well, we have the first cart into the 9-second bracket. That will be Tyler Alton from New Richmond, Wisconsin in the cart number 30 with a 9985, a 9985. Corey Wolf in the number 16. Paul Rainey, the second quick in the 43 with a 9.887 for the 43 of Paul Rainey. The 00 in out of Asante, Minnesota. That's Noah Berglund. Noah Berglund in the 00 in. Excuse me, that's Mason Hudson. Mason Hudson in the 00. The 11 of Trenton Crisenberry. The 145 Kyle Graves. The 671 Zach Axlin. Zach Axlin coming to you out of Fargo, North Dakota, and we got a spin in turn 2. Regan Skolton. Preston Stamp in the 88. Preston Stamp, the 88 cart. Once again, the 00, the white 00, Mason Hudson. 34 on track now, Dustin Heath out of Morris, Illinois. The 50 of Caden Cornell, the 50 Caden Cornell. The 06, Zachary Kanizer. Zachary Kanizer in the 06. Colin Stevenson in the number 21. Well, we should have 3 carts coming out to you for your, and that's what we have. It's going to be the 1X of Brant Brooks from Centralia, Missouri, the 52 child from Greenville, Iowa, and the 107 of Lincoln Slight out of Griggsville, Illinois. At least they're listening. And ladies getting all gonna stay green. Brant Brooks with a once again, Brant Brooks with the quick time in your hot lap session. That's a 10.823, a 10.823. Lincoln Slight with a 11.693, and Elsie Fairchild with 11.925. All right, up next will be your Junior 2 Light Pro carts. So it's going to be the 81 out of Clear Lake, Minnesota. That's Jaden Anderson. the 11R. Well, I know who that is. That's Carter Roller, but I don't see him in the Junior 2 Light Pro. The 32 will be Riley Finnegan out of Osceola, Wisconsin. Riley Finnegan in the 32 car. And 38, I do not have a 38. J.W. Ray in the cart number 38. Well, this is a rundown of who's on track right now. The 11R Carter Roller, the 72 Henry Arnold, the 32 Riley Finnegan, the 38 J.W. Ray, the 25D Devin Patton, the 93 of Creed Mead, and the 94T of Tyson Corkin. And the 32E of Ethan Fry from Carlock, Illinois. Well, so far with the quick time in your hot lap for your Junior 2 Light Pro, it changes lap after lap between Carter Roller in the 11R and the 72 of Henry Arnold. And Carter Roller going faster once again. J.W. Ray moving up to P3 on your practice, your hot lap time. And J.W. Ray moving up to P2 on the clock. Devin Patton taking it pit side. Well, we're rounding out your hot lap session that time. Your quick time going to be with a 10.067, going to be the 72 of Henry Arnold. Henry Arnold going to take over the top spot in hot lap. The 17 Trenton Peterson out of Russell, Iowa on track now. The 23X Max Walker coming to you out of Springfield, Missouri. The 63 on track, I believe. That will be Bentley Coughlin out of Harrisburg, South Dakota. And the number 12 coming to you out of Pringhar, Iowa. That's Dayton Van Beek. Dayton Van Beek in the cart number 12. On track now. Coming to you out of Conover, Ohio. Conover, Ohio in the 27. That's Chasen Hanselman. Chasen Hanselman out of Ohio. I didn't even know they had go-kart drivers in the state of Ohio. Trenton Peterson taking over the top spot in your hot lap action. Talking about threading the needle and spinning out anyway, the 23X of Max Walker threading the needle over there between the three carts, and lo and behold, still brought it under caution. Once again, Trenton Peterson, the only cart in the 9-second bracket, a 9.926 for the 17 of Trenton Peterson. Well, this is your biggest class for today. 35 cars strong in your clone medium 370, and this the ones are on track now. The 241 of Tristan Martin, the 15 Madison Hamer, the 05 Connor Germain, the 22 Ian Matlock, the 111 of Keaton Goss, the 671 of Zach Axlin taking over P1, the 31 of Carter Moore, and the K19 Cameron Hill. Let your carts on track now. Ian Matlock with the quick time in your hot laps. The only cart into the 9-second bracket, a 9.950 for the 22 of Ian Matlock. Keaton Goss in second and Zach Axlin third. That's your top three. With Tristan Martin fourth, Connor Germain fifth, Cameron Hill sixth, Madison Hamer seventh, and Carter Moore eighth on the fastest hot laps so far. The 00 Mason Hudson, the 145 Gile Graves, the 43 Paul Rainey, the 06 Zachary Kenizer, the 22X Aiden Sullivan, the 88 Preston Stamp, and the 16 of Corey Wolf. Still holding on to P1 so far in your clone medium 370 hot laps will be Ian Matlock with a 9.950. But like I said earlier, hot laps don't mean a doggone thing as far as what your lap times are. What matters is when we start to qualify a little bit later on this afternoon. And we have a new fast cat. Going to be the 61 of Buddy Wilson with a 9.655. Hudson with a 9.786. And Paul Rainey with a 9.892. Zachary Knizer, a 9.917. And Ian Matlock dropped all the way to 5th. Caden Cornell on track now. Dustin Heath, the 34. 86, Taylor Hoffmeyer. And the number 19, I believe that's Eddie Brooks. Dustin Heath taking over P2 in your fast time for your hot laps. But like I said earlier, your hot laps don't mean a thing until it's time to qualify. Dustin Heath taking over P2. Caden Cornell moving up to P3. That's the 50 of Caden Cornell. So that will conclude your Clone Medium 370 hot lap. So your top 5 is going to be Buddy Wilson, the 61, Heath, the 34, Caden Cornell, the 50, Mason Hudson, the 00, and Matthew Morgan, the number 9. So your karts on track now are your Junior 1 light, going to be the 15 down the back straightaway. That will be Colton Brown. Coming to you out of Lee Summit, Missouri. Jace O'Neill, the 18 out of Kansas City, Kansas. The number 9, Gannon Heimbaugh out of Mitchellville, Iowa. The 05, Clyde Keenan, coming to you out of Des Moines, Iowa. And the number 2 out of Piperton, Tennessee. And the 32, Hayden Arnold out of Stanhope, Iowa. And so far, the 15 of Colton Brown going to be the fast cat in hot lap session number 1 for your Junior 1 light. Jace O'Neill, 2nd, Hayden Arnold, 3rd. The 42 of Easton Quaintance, 4th, and 5th will be the number 5. Moving up to 5th will be the 42 Easton Quaintance. 6 will be the 5 of Jackson Reeves, the 05 of Clyde Keenan, and the 2 of Cam Crawford. Looking for 15 entries for your Junior 1 light. Up next going to be another group for your Junior 1 light. Looks like we have the 15K of Kane Hooper coming to you out of Urbana, Missouri. The 41, Bren Miller out of Cross Timbers, Missouri. So it's the 8X of Corbin Tarbus, the 45. The 8X of Corbin Tarbus. And we got caution on the Speedway. Chase Shoop, the 5S, the 41, Bryn Miller. Mason Sharn, the 3S, and the 4S of Easton Sharn. Chase Shoop, 7th right now. Colton Brown still holding on to the top spot. So your Junior 1 light fast time, your top 5 will be the 15 of Colton Brown, the 18 Jace O'Neill, the 3 of Kaylor Ekstrom, the 8X of Corbin Tarbus, and the 15K of Kane Hooper. That's your top 5 in your fastest hot laps for this afternoon. Lincoln Slight must not want to hot lap for a second time because the gate is closed. So it's going to be the 1X of Brant Brooks and the 52E of LC Fairchild. Junior 2 light up next, 19 entries strong. Whoa, look out. Yeah, that's a little soft down there. That's a little soft down there on the infield. And Brant Brooks just found out. You all right down there, Corbin? All right, up next will be your Junior 2 light coming to you. Going to be the 23X of Max Walker, the 17 Trenton Peterson, the 94T Tyler Corkins. Tyson Corkins in the 94T. And the 11R of Carter Roller, the 38 J.W. Ray, the 93 Creed Mead, the 63 Bentley Cockerman, and the 19 Olivia Van Loo. And we got a cone down in turn number 4. And a hay bale out of place down the back straightaway. You gonna take a nap? Look out over there on the grid because you're going to get hay baled. Devin Patton, 25D. Blaine Kendall, the 35. The 05 of Hoyt Miller in the 05. Riley Finnegan to 32. Dayton Van Beek in the cart number 12. Once again, Hoyt Miller in the 05.
Yep.
81, Jaden Anderson, the 81 of Jaden Anderson, coming to you out of Clear Lake, Minnesota. And Ethan Fry in the 32E. Ethan Fry in the 32E. Ethan coming to you out of Carlock, Illinois. And we got another group for your Junior 2 light. Going to be the number 3, Carter Brown, coming to you out of Elko New Market, Minnesota. The 27, Jason Hanselman, out of Conover, Ohio. The 72, Henry Arnold. And once again, the 27, Jason Hanselman. And that will conclude once these cats are done. That will conclude your Junior 2 Light Hot Laps. And up next will be Predator Light 340, and we got 17 in the house. Looks like we have Missouri, Iowa, Tennessee, Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, Illinois, and Kansas. Also, Nebraska in your Predator Light 340. Ethan Fry taking over that top spot. Once again, Ethan Fry taking over the top spot in your hot lap action. All right, up next going to be Predator Light 340. Going to be the 68, the gray 68. That's Quinn Jones. The 21, Caden Brockert. The number 4, Leroy Wagner. The 11 of Trenton Crisenberry. The 08, that will be Chase Kelliker. And the 30 will be Tyler Alton. The 60, Jacob Hoffman. And the 151, Allie Sneller. So the kart's on track now, the 21 Carrollton, Missouri. The 68 right down the road, Sweet Springs, Missouri. Bonner Springs, Missouri driver, the number 4, Leroy Wagner. Allie Sneller, the 151, New Bloomfield, Missouri. Tyler Alton in the 30, New Richmond, Wisconsin. The 11, Trenton Crisenberry, Chilhowie, Missouri. And we got a cone down on turn number 4. Cone down on turn 4. Chase Kelliker, your fastest cat so far in your Predator Light 340 with a 10.270. A 10.270. Caden Brockert Jacob Hoffman now second. Caden Brockert third. Quinn Jones now moving up to third. Caden Brockert now fourth. Leroy Wagner fifth. Tyler Alton sixth. Crisenberry seventh. And Allie Sneller rounding out your 8 karts for your Predator Light 340. Your top 3 within that 9-second bracket. Your top 4 now in the 9-second bracket. All right, this will be your second group for your Predator Light 340. The 99 Cody, Iowa. The 45, Jill Atkinson, and he don't tell me where he's coming from. 671 all the way from Fargo, North Dakota. That's Zach Axlin. The 24, Colin Stevenson out of Memphis, Tennessee. The 4C, Chase Colin Stevenson, the 24, excuse me. The 22 out of Green Valley, Missouri, Ian Matlock. And the 4C, Chase Richards out of Burlington, Iowa. The 00 in out of Asante, Minnesota. That's Noah Berglund. Noah Berglund in the white 00 in. Whoa! We got Ian Matlock going to the infield. Noah Berglund taking over that number 3 spot. Your top 6 so far in the 9-second bracket. Chase Kelliker holding on to P1 so far. Quinn Jones 2nd, Noah Berglund 3rd, Tyler Alton 4th, and Jacob Hoffman 5th. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I need Troy Kingsbury to the score tower. Troy Kingsbury to the score tower. Once again, Troy Kingsbury to the score tower, please. Now that we got it quiet, Troy Kingsbury to the score tower. Troy Kingsbury to the score tower. The 12 gauge Delgado. The 15 in Braylon Neer. The 3C of Carter Brooks. The 14K Cohen Beach. The 06 Kason Jones. And we got hay bales on the racetrack on the back straightaway. Everybody okay over there on the grid? Braylon Neer, the 15 in. Carter Brooks, the 3C. Kason Jones, the 06. The 14K Cohen Beach. The 15 in Braylon Neer. The 12 gauge Delgado. The 72 of Crew Lowry. And the 8 of Reese Steffen. Kason Jones comes to you out of Lake Park, Iowa. Gage Delgado also out of Lake Park, Iowa. Carter Brooks, Centralia, Missouri. Braylon Neer out of Corydon, Iowa. Cohen Beach out of Fremont, Iowa. Reese Stephens out of St. Charles, Missouri. Crew Lowry, Ottumwa, Iowa. Here comes your second group for your box stock wing carts. 13 carts strong for your box stock. The 3E Ethan Matrison out of Oskaloosa, Iowa. The number 10 of Rickson Golf out of Crook, South Dakota. The 79 Dax Housley out of Runnels, Iowa. The 22 Carson Sanders out of Des Moines. And the 4C Carson George out of Altoona, Iowa. And the number 8, that will be the number 8P, Ashlyn Poniatowski. Ashlyn Poniatowski out of Holly, Michigan, in the white number 8P. Dax Housley taking over that number 2 spot. Carter Brooks has got it right now into the top spot. Carson Sanders, 3rd. Crew Lowry, 4th. Gage Delgado, 5th. You all right down there, Blake? I'd be getting dizzy about now. Going in circles like that, in a close circle like that. "15 carts strong in your Clone Heavy." We're just about getting down to the last of the hot lap action for your 15th annual Winter Classic. Going to be the 00 Mason Hudson, the 05 Connor Germain, the 22X Aiden Sullivan, the 31 Carter Moore, and the 24 Tristan Martin. The 99 Cody Havens, the 01 Cameron Childs, and the 50 of Caden Cornell. Cameron Childs coming to you out of Kennard, Nebraska. Aiden Sullivan out of Harrisburg, South Dakota. Tristan Martin out of Holden, Missouri. Connor Germain, he don't tell me where he comes from. Caden Cornell out of Willard, Missouri. Mason Hudson out of the metropolis of Fulton, Missouri. And Carter Moore, the 31, coming to you out of Fairfield, Iowa. Connor Germain, the fastest cat so far in that 05. Tristan Martin now taking over Cody Havens now P1 out of Adel, Iowa. Tristan Martin and Cody Havens swapping that top spot. Aiden Sullivan third, Caden Cornell fourth, and Connor Germain in fifth. So Cody Havens going to take over P1 in the first hot lap session for your Clone Heavy 400. Tristan Martin second, Connor Germain third, Caden Cornell fourth, Mason Hudson fifth, Aiden Sullivan sixth, Cameron Childs seventh, and Carter Moore eighth. And here comes your final group of carts for Clone Heavy. So it's going to be the 34. Going to be the 34 Dustin Heath out of Morris, Illinois. Corey Wolf, the number 16 out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. The number 19 Eddie Brose, coming to you out of Mitchellville, Iowa. The number 9, Matthew Morgan, and he don't tell me where he comes from. The 57, coming to you out of Arnold, Missouri, Brian Scherer. The 86, Taylor Hoffmeyer out of Granville, Iowa. The 23, Aaron Shoemaker, coming to you out of Paducah, Kentucky. All right, this will be your final hot lap session of the day. Well, that was your final grouped hot lap here, which will be your open class. So it's the 151 Allie Sneller out of New Bloomfield, Missouri, the 111 of Keaton Goss, Pea Arkansas, the 22 out of Green Valley, Missouri, Ian Matlock, the 18 out of Springdale, Arkansas, Jason Seward. Coming to you out of Bonner Springs, Kansas, the 14 of Charles Wagner. And a couple of Independence, Missouri drivers, Jason Earl in the 11, Dakota Earls, the 15. And last but not least, coming to you out of Clinton, Missouri, that's the 162 of Bill Snyder.